It's the Score North Twin Show.
And today we're going to dive into the comments section, boys. After we light ourselves
Reckless speculation
on fire on the hot stove. Let's do it one more time. Can't get enough of this.
Reckless speculation.
Right there. Right there.
I don't think the goal is for the hot stove to actually blow up.
No. We need it to blow up.
But it's for like effect.
Oh, it's way more fun. I'm not saying it's not.
It's going to blow up
each
when
time it does blow up.
Shohei signs a new contract.
Reckless
Yep.
speculation.
Not with the Twins, probably. But yeah, this is the Score North Twin Show. Thank you guys for jumping into some of this off-season discussion. We're going to dive into the comments section of the Score North YouTube channel here. The feedback tab is a great place to email the show here through the Score North app, and then we'll get to an Immaculate Grid. But also all week long here, and today is the actual Give to the Max Day. We are throwing our support at Score North behind Secondhand Hounds. We're all dog people around here. In fact, can I get the wide view here again, Dex? Let's see how Maya Mackey's been napping as we record all of our shows this morning. And she's still conked out, folks.
He hasn't moved.
No, she did move. Yeah, during.
We've got movement.
Oh, and she just heard us.
Hey, Maya. Hey, Maya. Look at her.
Maya,
She's
give to the
like-
max, Maya.
She's like, you got food, fat boy? Otherwise, let me nap.
When you said food, she perked up.
Yeah,
Twitter.
of course you did.
Yeah, I shouldn't have said that word. It's taunting her. But Secondhand Hounds rescues dogs and cats, by the way, from kill shelters and from owners who can no longer provide care. Get them out of the bad situation and into a permanent, loving home, proper veterinary care. So whether you have $5 to give or $500 to give, we are encouraging all animal lovers to go to scorenorth.com/donate on this Give to the Max Day. Scorenorth.com/donate, where our friends at Nutrisource have already matched the first $1,000 that we have raised. So thank you guys, all you animal lovers out there. We appreciate you. And she's out again. Passed the bleep out. Poor gal. Just waiting for her.
Yeah, she's tired.
lunch.
They get tired easy.
Yeah,
It's hard being them.
It's
I got tired.
one of Vinny's things. So we love giving him the lick pad. We'll freeze some peanut butter on a doggy lick pad,
Yeah.
and he'll lick that lick pad, and then he is just exhausted from the licking. Just like
It
we'll
is a
take
lot of
an
mental
hour
stimulation.
nap afterwards, and just same thing, just like passed out on his side with peanut butter still on the roof of his mouth. Yes.
Just dead.
But he's happy. That's all
He
that
is.
matters.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's
He's
true.
a happy
It's
boy.
true.
Yep. So, all right, let's dive in here. Let's get to some questions from listeners. Slow Joe chimes in and says, so there's an update on the Twins TV situation. It's a small update, but the end of Bally Sports, whatever, North, Southwest, all of the Bally's is officially, it's gonna go dark after the 2024 calendar year. So whether you're a hockey team, a basketball team, baseball team, you will no longer be able to negotiate even like a 1-year deal with them. Everyone has to find their own TV deals. So that's kind of where we're at here. Twins are still looking to figure out what they're going to do. Slow Joe chimes in, says, why don't you just broadcast free over-the-air games and find new sponsorship partners to recoup the cost? Major League Baseball has a problem reaching fans already. The Twins need to utilize social media and create content for fans, like behind-the-scenes stuff. What they do some of that stuff already, like on their website. Their free broadcast should be pushing fans to watch their other channels and et cetera, et cetera. Come join the 22nd century. So basically, like, create more content online, over the air, your games, more content, and then get advertisers to sponsor it. I mean, the problem is, I don't think they can get, they need to recoup $55 million. I think it's hard for them, even with like a wider audience, to just, so 3 sponsors are going to write us checks for $15 million a year. Like, I think that's a daunting task for them. So they're trying to figure that out.
So the Phoenix Suns and Utah Jazz, I think, are 2 examples of teams that are putting a bunch of games. It might be the Vegas Golden Knights too, putting a bunch of games now on over-the-air television to try and do exactly this. This is such a nuanced conversation, though, because it's not just. I think people my age just think in terms of TV. When it's TV as we know it is really going away. It's turning into streaming. It's turning into how can you get people engaged in your product through means that aren't traditional. And so I think what we're going to see here, I mean, baseball has a golden opportunity if they don't piss it away, which they might, but I think they're smart enough not to. They have a really good opportunity here to embrace the future. And while I do think putting games on over-the-air free television, a package, is a very smart idea because it sort of smooths things out a little bit. That's not how this is going to work long term.
No.
And
maybe
so
go back to once a week so that you can hit that audience, like, 4 times a month, right?
But this is all about streaming. This is all about how are you going to capitalize on the opportunity to monetize your product through streaming? Because look, people Declan's age, 30, and certainly in their 20s, they don't think of this as how can I watch a game on channel 45 or how can I get a Fox Plus game? They think of this as
tell me the app to go to.
Yeah,
I'll pay for it. Yeah,
exactly. So I think that's the key thing, not just for the Twins, but for the Wild, for the Wolves. How do you and your league? And I keep saying this. One of the most important things about this entire discussion is the leagues have to get involved. This can no longer, in my opinion, be a team by team. Well, we cut our own little deal, right? Like we got our own streaming. That's great. Yeah. But this needs to be, the leagues need to step up here and get involved and come up with a model that's going to work, not for the Yankees, the Red Sox, the Dodgers, but work for the entire league to keep it as healthy as possible.
Yeah.
End of rant.
Yeah, they need just better a plan here. Like I know some people kind of mock the MLS, but I liked what the MLS did. It's like if you are diehard soccer fans, come to our service. There's no blackouts. We'll give you everything you need. If you want to watch Columbus Crew versus the New York Red Bull, go ahead. Here it is. Like I think that was genius by them. I liked that plan for them. I had to explain to my future baby brother-in-law that I have an over-the-air, square antenna that's on the window. That's how I watch the over-the-air football games and all my local networks.
Yeah.
He's 17, and I had to explain to him what that was, and I still don't think he grasped what the hell that thing was that I've been using. To Judd's point, they don't know what it is, and what they probably want, just like everything else that my generation and then even Gen Zers want, are streaming. They want, I have 5 streaming apps, and I even hoard them all out to my siblings, and then every 6 months I collect bills for them to use all the streamings that we have going on. So I think that's the plan. You got to make a streaming service, and that's probably going to be your best bet. But I mean, I get why going over the air would make a lot of sense too, to reach more of the households.
And the streaming service has to work.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. You can't come on and be like, well, we're working things out. We're new. We don't know what we're doing.
Yeah,
you have from day one, it has to work damn near perfectly.
Yeah. It's so funny. Dude, the NBA, I'd love to hear the conversations behind the scenes with Adam Silver and some of these executives where we're 2 weeks into the season and these idiots at Bally's. And I don't mean the tech people are probably, I'm sure they laid a bunch of people off and they're probably spread. I'm talking more about just the decision makers. We're going to go and we're going to buy all these RSNs. And then 5 minutes later, after 2 seasons, basically, we're going to realize, we misread the landscape of where content's going. And we bit off more than we could chew building an app for millions and millions of fans. Screw you guys. Have a better vision for what's happening, right?
Yep.
So, okay. Jeff in Arkansas says, you guys are so much smarter than me in this whole area of media and where it's going. By the way, we've noticed that you guys have a huge interest in the Twins media uncertainty. Who's the play-by-play guy going to be on TV? Where are their games going to land? So we see a ton of comments coming in and questions. And then we can even see some of the most listened to episodes this offseason have been speculating about the media stuff. So here we go. Jeff in Arkansas says, you guys are much smarter than me in this whole area of media and where it's going. I don't know if we're that much smarter. And I'm wondering if there's any possibility that Hubbard, the company you guys work for, could broadcast Twins games live on YouTube, on the Score North YouTube channel, and sell advertisements there and get the Twins back their $50 million and pay the broadcasters. I mean, we would love to have the Twins on the Score North YouTube channel. I'm not sure, if they're going to put their games on just straight up YouTube, they could just put them on their own YouTube channel.
Right.
So,
yeah.
Right. And I think where there's going to be some short-term pain here, but eventually I do think it's going to work better than the RSN model, is the Twins are probably going to have to hire, or not probably, they're going to have to hire their own staff to sell.
Yeah.
And that's where baseball could help out. Because what if baseball actually had they've got already a media branch. What if baseball then deployed that branch to begin selling advertising on the games that are being streamed by teams? So instead of like each team, like the Dodgers have to get their own sales branch and the Red Sox and the Marlins, right? What if baseball had an in-house option that could help out there? That's where I think these leagues have to get involved. The OTA thing, though, I will say this. I wouldn't be shocked if 45, which is owned by us, I wouldn't be shocked if, again, they got involved in some type of OTA element at some point.
Yep.
So.
Yep, it's maybe we're kind of going back 25, 30 years where you've got most of your games are on cable and that's a different pricing package. But then, like, for promotional purposes, let's just put one game a week on straight up broadcast TV for anybody and everybody. Outstate Minnesota can watch it. William N86 says Jorge Polanco is the best second baseman available on the market and will cost, with his $10 million salary, 70% market rate. My guess is they package him with another player for a starting pitcher. And to William's point, looking at the second base free agent market, it is a disaster. Ahmed Rosario is probably the top available, but then it's like 35-year-old Whit Merrifield.
Whit Merrifield,
hell yes.
He's 35 already?
I know.
Yeah, man.
God,
Whit
Merrifield.
Name sounds like he's 85 years old. Yeah. Adam Frazier, 32, and not the same player he was. Elvis Andrews is 35. He's on the list. Like, I mean, if a team needs a second baseman, the Twins have plenty. So they should be able to strike up some value for Jorge.
I would not be surprised. So if they traded Polanco and a prospect for a starting pitcher, what do we think on the quality of starting pitcher coming back? Because I'm guessing it wouldn't be super high, but it might be a guy that could certainly slot in as like a fourth guy.
Yeah. I think the question would be, if you're trading 1 year of Polanco, what else would you have to include to get like multiple years of team control on a starting pitcher? So a rise for Pablo made sense because both guys had like 3 or 4 years left of team control. So you're trading, multiple years of Arias for multiple years of Pablo. If you're trading 1 year of Polanco and he's been banged up a lot,
right?
What else do I need to throw in to get more than just like a 1 year rent a pitcher? Although I don't think the Brewers would be interested, but if I could get Corbin Burns, 1 year of Corbin Burns somehow for 1 year of Polanco plus something else. But if you're the Brewers and you're going to start trading guys like Corbin Burns, you probably want a prospect back, not 1 year of Polanco. So,
right. I agree.
Alan Waltman says, here's an idea. Give Byron Buxton a first baseman's glove to get him back on the field. If Bryce Harper can do it and go from outfield to first base, so could Byron Buxton. Would you rather see, if you had to make a choice, hey, we're going to put Byron Buxton back in the field, would you rather try again in the outfield, or would you rather put him at first base where maybe he's less likely to, I don't know, do damage to himself?
This is tough because, I mean, Bryce Harper is now the full-time first baseman, and he was a great athletic outfielder. Not at the speed that Buxton could cover, but a really good defensive outfielder. But then he started getting injured, and they just decided, hey, we have to protect our investment here, and we're going to take him out of the outfield. Even though we can DH him sometimes too, we're actually going to put him at first base. My first initial thought on this is absolutely not, I don't want to do this. But then I think of this Bryce Harper plan where, hey, we had this investment here. When he has been healthy, he's been a damn good player. And we have to figure out ways to keep him in the lineup every day. And so I'm not completely against it. I at one time I was, but I'm not completely against the idea of him maybe playing some first base.
Judd?
God, this is difficult because I'd almost rather run him into the ground in the outfield trying there.
But they can't even get him out there.
I know.
That's the problem.
I know. And well, here's my real question. All right. And I know he's had another surgery that's supposed to solve the problem, blah, blah, blah. This is the same things that we heard last year. Here's my question about Buxton, period. Is he in a position to stand up for 9 innings anywhere right now? Because like the biggest thing with
and you're
him
standing on dirt versus grass, does that make a difference? First base versus outfield?
But like 2023, it wasn't this whole thing of, well, He's crashed into too many fences, right? So we're concerned about that. It was literally, we don't think he can stand out there. And I know they're saying it's fine now. I'm not buying that. So I guess my biggest question, if I could talk to the doctors, would be, is he even in a position to go stand in first, in center field, in right field? I would prefer in my ideal world, what I would do if he can do this is corner outfield, test him out there. I feel like first base is just, he's devalued if he can't play the outfield. Yeah. And I almost like Phil's idea of trying to get Julian to first base more than Buxton.
That's where I'm at. I feel like here's what I would do. Here's my official take on this.
The pain in this conversation from all of us is just so.
I would here's what I would do. I would cross train Buxton center field and corner outfield so that I just have more places to put him in the outfield. I would go after an actual center fielder that I can trust to play, whether it's a Kiermaier or bringing Michael A. Taylor back, or like Harrison Bader doesn't do a ton for me, but you got to find someone, or maybe Austin Martin. But I'm going to make sure if I'm going to run Buxton out there, the older he gets, he's 30 years old, the more banged up he is, I might have to transition him to a corner spot. And I'm going into the season with Edward Julian as one of my 2 first basemen, him and Kirilloff. And so now I've opened up second base for Brooks Lee at some point.
Yep.
So, okay. Let's see. Let's go. Here's one. It's a payroll one from Doc. You defended billionaires on yesterday's show from a couple days ago.
Yep.
Saying that there should be a limit on years a player can get with a contract. You, all caps, you defended billionaires.
I heard the same thing, Phil, from you. I agree completely. Doc, go, Doc.
Here, let's do this for a second. Let's put the billionaire thing off to the side, and let's talk about, because it really we're not trying to protect billionaires from spending a lot of money. I think the spirit of the conversation from my perspective was, how do we create a more organized and exciting free agency period for fans? That's what NBA has. That's what NHL has. They literally, the NFL literally calls it Free Agency Frenzy Week on NFL Network. Tonight, starting at 7 o'clock Eastern Time, it's a frenzy of free agent signings. Great. Baseball doesn't have that because there's no structure. NFL teams, basketball teams, they know they've all got a salary cap. There isn't a team sitting out there that can maybe offer $100 million more or whatever. So I'm trying to think of ways when there's no salary cap, which there's not going to be a salary cap in baseball anytime in the near future because the big markets don't want to give as much money to the small markets. And that's whatever. Yeah. So how can we create a little more structure so that players sign more quickly, so that when the window opens, you know that something's going to get done in the next couple weeks? Eliminating the ability to negotiate 9 years versus 15 years. Oh, my client's worth a 15-year contract. We think it's more like 11, and then they stare at each other for 3 months. Mm-hmm. The longest contract you can sign is 6 years, 7 years in baseball. If you want to go up the ladder on average annual value, that's fine. You can do that. But I'm a solutions guy. I'm looking for solutions here.
Well, and you're not. So where Doc is wrong is we aren't defending billionaires. What we're doing is trying to help them and save them from their own stupidity at times.
But that's defending billionaires too. You're trying to take
but I'm doing it for the sport.
I'm trying to make this more exciting for fans. Is what I'm trying to do.
Absolutely, but between us, what we are doing is trying to increase excitement for fans, i.e. us. It's selfish. Who cares? But then the second thing is I am good of the game guy. I'm looking at the game and saying what makes it look on, Dex will agree fully and Phil probably will too. On the day that Parisi and Suter signed their 13-year contracts, it was awesome, right? The Wild got these two guys. And slowly but surely, you began to realize those contracts were stupid, okay? The league has since passed rules, the National Hockey League has, saying if it's a player from the outside, he can sign for 7 years with his new team. If you're keeping him, 8 years. That's not defending billionaires. That's trying to save them from short-term sugar highs, that become long-term pains in the asses and aren't fun.
And it makes it makes the decision quicker.
Yeah.
Okay, we're not negotiating over term. We all agree that this awesome player is going to get the maximum length of contract. So now it's either going to be $50 million a year or $40 million a year, and it quickens the negotiation process so that guys can sign and it's exciting.
But Doc, we're here for the game.
Doc, come on, guys.
Like Declan, Phil, and Judd, we are here for the game, Doc. We're not here for individuals. We are here for the sanctity of the sports that fans love because we know what's best for them.
Yes. Sanctity is also a great.
That's very sanctimonious. Yeah. Sanctity sanctimoniously.
So, all right. Thank you guys for hitting us up with questions. We're always monitoring the YouTube comment section and the feedback emails in the Score North app. So we'll do this at least once a week and just create a little interactive path between us and the audience. So,
and Twins play-by-play guy. Let's go on the play-by-play guy. I'm excited.
Yeah, what are we
the
hearing?
The TV guy, the radio guy, if it's the TV
I've heard early December. My spies have told me they'll have a decision by early December.
They haven't reached out to you yet, Judd, to do an audition?
You're the one that volunteered for it.
Well, I would totally. If they were interested,
I have no interest in. I'm too old.
If the Twins were interested in me doing that job, I would be interested in doing that job.
I feel like I wouldn't be allowed to really reflect how I truly would want
That's
to.
That's my problem, too. That's why
do the job. And plus, I would insist on the old school Harry Carey clause, which is surly in the booth.
Yeah, where you can hear the cans clanking around his feet.
And then the post-game show comes on. I got my scorebook, my big glasses like this, and I've got a big thing of cans right there.
And shirtless, take me out to the ball game, leaning over into the crowd with your microphone.
Kirilov spelled backwards
is Follikick.
What a name. What? Why can't Byron Buxton out of the lineup today? Why can't this guy stay healthy, Steve?
A one, a two,
I loved him.
Take.
That's what I want. Dave St. Peter, I will do the Twins if I can have the Harry Carey clause.
Oh, man. All right, it's time for an immaculate grid here, boys, where, I don't know, we don't, I guess we'll put 7 minutes on the clock just to keep us organized here. Okay.
Ooh.
And so what we're doing here, Declan told us right before the show, because we aren't doing daily Twin shows like we were during the season. So we're going to go back. If the Twins are on the grid during the week, we're going to go back and find them. I will find you.
We'll find you.
And I will put you up on the screen. So the Twins were on the grid last Sunday. Declan and I love the Saturday, Sunday grids because it gives you all these crazy categories.
Yep.
And here's
Saturday
one of them. Saturdays. Oh.
This isn't bad.
Saturdays you can go really low. It's like when they put it's like moving the tees up to the whites, you know?
Oh,
I feel like
I play from the whites, but that's okay.
I feel like they've helped this. They've gotten a little bit more creative with categories, which I like. In fact, today's grid has the one team.
One team. Yep, the Judd plan.
That was what I told them to do. So they're clearly stealing from me.
So here's what. And by the way, if we rattle this one off, we could do a second grid. We got all day here. We could do today's grid if you guys want. But this is from a few days ago here because the Twins are on it. So we're looking for a Twin who was a Brave, a Twin who was a Red, and a Twin who was a Met. So many fun options. Looking for a Brave who had a 30-30 season, a Red 30-30 season, and a Met 30-30 season. And then we're looking for the Rookie of the Year ones kind of suck because there's not that many to choose from.
Right.
So it kind of ruins your rarity score. But we're looking for a Brave Rookie of the Year, a Red Rookie of the Year, and a Met Rookie of the Year. Okay. Should we start with the Twins ones and just knock these out?
Yeah.
Sure.
We're looking to go really obscure here if we can.
Okay.
A Twin Brave, a Twin Red, and a Twin Met. I got my pen ready to take some notes here.
So, Ramon Ortiz, I believe, was a Red. He was obviously a twin. He was with the Angels.
That's right.
Ramon Ortiz is an option here.
I'll give you two.
Okay.
Go ahead. Kyle
Loesch is an option here. Yep.
I'll give you a couple obscure bullpen guys from the second year I covered the Twins beat in 2011, and one of them was 12, I think.
Okay.
The Twins shared a pitcher with Braves history that was on one of my fantasy baseball teams in like 2009, and then he went to the Twins in 2011. He had like shoulder surgeries and stuff. Chuck James. Do you guys remember Chuck James?
Now that you bring his name
promising
up,
Braves pitcher, and he was in. I covered him when he was with the Twins in 2011.
And he played in games with the Twins.
Yeah, he didn't play in many games with the Twins, but
he
definitely was. He was
That's
on.
gonna-
He got there like for the actual major league season, because I remember interacting with him in the actual Target Field clubhouse.
Okay.
Chuck James. Just I'll write his name down here.
Okay. Who was the? And I think we brought this guy up, and we couldn't remember his name, so we looked it up. Who was the Rule 5 guy from Atlanta? And I don't know that
Scott
that he
Diamond?
pitched-
J.R. Graham.
Yeah,
J.R. Graham.
Yeah, but I don't know
Rule
if he
5.
pitched for the,
Rule 5 means you weren't in the major leagues though.
Correct.
Yeah, and I think he might have gone back there, but I don't know he pitched. So
Yeah.
Another
I don't know
one
that
from that era of my beat writing days on these bad Twins teams. Jared Burton was a Reds reliever.
Oh,
who
Jared
the Twins
Burton.
brought in.
Yeah,
That's
he's pretty
super.
good.
that's super rare. That's going to be super rare. I'm trying to think.
I
of
think
old
Chuck
school.
James is probably going to be about as
Yeah.
obscure as you can find. I'm
Yeah,
certain on that one.
that's going to be .001. It's going to be super rare.
002.
Let's
Zero.
go, dudes.
Nice.
Chuck
Let's
James.
go.
He looks happy to be there. That's what he looks. Chuck
Here's
loves
a
it.
here's a twin Met from the 90s that Judd will remember. Do you remember? And this guy, I don't think this guy won Rookie of the Year with the Mets. I don't think he did. But he made a splash with the Mets in the mid 90s, and the Twins got him in the late 90s. Outfielder named Alex Ochoa.
Oh yeah,
Butch Husky would work here too.
Butch Husky works as well. Yeah, yeah.
But Alex Ochoa was
Mason Tyner, I think. Would
Tim Tuffle, Wally Backman,
Tim Tuffle.
Tim Tuffle. I think Alex Ochoa is going to be more rare than Tim Tuffle. Now Tim Tuffle's from
You
the
call it.
80s.
You call it.
I think a 90s guy's going to be more. I'm more comfortable with
who?
It's up to you guys.
Ochoa.
I'm just Ochoa. Alex
Ochoa.
Alex
O-C-H-O.
O-C-H.
Yep.
O-C-H. Alex.
I have
It's
Alex.
O-C-H. Alex, and then last
Yep.
name O-C.
Hold on. I did Alex, dude.
I know.
Oh, there we go.
L. Yep. There you go. You got him.
0.04.
0.04.
Yeah.
Let's
Tim
go.
Tuffle would have been I bet Tim
Let's
Tuffle's
go.
2%.
And then, John's Reds, John Smiley, Kyle Loesch. Jared Burton, man, like that's
Jared
that's
Burton's going to
Burton's
be
good.
pretty good, man.
Jared Burton's going to be more rare
Ron
than John
Ortiz.
Smiley.
I'm trying to think of other guys, but
They made any.
People don't remember relievers.
that's the thing. If you can key in on relievers, and relievers
Yeah.
bounce around too, all over the
Yeah.
place.
All right.
Be under one. Be under one. Come on.
0.1.
0.1. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good. That's
That guy was filthy for a couple years.
He was
good
pretty good.
stuff.
Casey
All right.
Fiend, Jared Burton.
Okay, now we get to the. Okay, for the Mets. I'm wondering. I'm fairly certain that both Dwight Gooden and Darryl Strawberry won Rookie of the Year in the '80s because they both came on.
Gooden was 84.
They both came like a couple years apart. I'm pretty sure.
You know, I don't think this guy would be that high. DeGrom won it, and even though it's recent, like, I think people forget about him. Like, I think people kind of forget about it. Like, I think the locks of Strawberry and Gooden are much more relevant in, like, the history of the Mets than Jacob DeGrom winning Rookie of the Year.
We could, yeah, he did come on kind of out of nowhere to win Rookie of the Year. We also could. This is where like the 30-30 categories are really hard.
Yeah,
because you're not 100% sure. But Darryl Strawberry in the mid 80s was definitely like a 30 plus home run guy with a bunch of speed who stole bases. So we could use Strawberry.
And DeGrom is Rookie of the Year.
I'm okay. If you're confident DeGrom won, I'm kind of bad with Rookies of the Year. So
okay.
If we went DeGrom, but he did come on out there.
9%.
I mean, this is not going to be that low.
30-30s are tough.
And Rookie of the Year only started in like the 50s or something. When did it start?
Atlanta might be
47. So
Atlanta for 30-30 might be Andrew Jones, and Cincinnati might be Reggie Sanders. Didn't both those get
Reggie Sanders?
Reggie Sanders was a god. He was a god. I'm
I
not
love
positive,
that
but
Reggie Sanders.
he had speed and
Barry
power.
Larkin Did Barry Larkin get there? Reggie,
Might
if
be
you're
high.
right about Reggie Sanders, that's going to be low.
Barry Larkin might be right.
Brandon Phillips would work.
He was a sneaky guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to write some names down. So Brandon Phillips, B. Phil, Reggie Sanders.
Rookie of the year, Johnny Bench, right?
Ooh,
For the Reds, didn't he win Rookie of the year?
I think
Kimbrel won it.
I mean,
Craig Kimbrel won it with the Braves.
Okay.
That's also another one.
another name for Reds. I'm just trying to think through. The hardest thing for Rookie of the Year is like it started in the late 40s, and there's 30 teams. You know
Frank
now.
Rose?
I was going to ask you about Chris Sabo.
Oh.
Chris Sabo.
I'm not sure on that at all. No, I feel more confident in Bench. I think Bench.
Chris
had a
Sabo was
great
one of
rookie
those
year.
like big time early
Yeah.
hot out of the gate. I had a Chris Sabo figurine in like 1989 as
he was
a 4-year-old.
He was stout. He was a stout player.
The
He
Rec
was built.
specs
Yeah, he was really built.
came out hot. Other trying to think of other. I mean Johnny Bench. Let's do it. Johnny Bench. Let's go. Johnny Bench.
I'm pretty sure Johnny Bench was Rookie of the Year. Johnny Bench.
Johnny Bench.
20.
See that's it's not our fault. It's just
Yeah.
Well,
kills the
there's only
rarity
so
score.
many. Yeah.
It kills
Kimbrel?
it. Kimbrel.
Kimbrel.
Okay. It's Braves. Braves have so many good players. Frank Coeur.
6.
Ooh. Frank. I
Nice.
think we tried Frank Coeur once and we're wrong about that.
Yeah.
30-30. You said Brandon
Aaron.
Phillips?
Yeah, Brandon Phillips.
Let's try that. I think you're right. I had him on a fantasy team in which he was good for
He
both
was-
those
he was
categories.
good for like a 5-year stretch. 14.
Yeah, it's gonna be
There's only going to be a few of these.
All right, let's do
Jones.
let's
Jones.
do Daryl. Let's do Daryl. Let's try Daryl Strawberry for the unless you guys have a better Met idea.
David Wright.
He was pretty quick early in his career.
Yeah.
Strawberry's gonna be. If Strawberry's right, it's gonna be more rare than David Wright.
It's further back in time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean that guy's.
Strawberry.
32.
Oh God, 32%.
Yeah.
This is getting out of hand here. We're 8
you
for
can't
9
help.
right now, but it's just getting out of hand. Okay.
So Jones, Hank Aaron. Did Hank Aaron do it?
He definitely had the home run part of it.
The home runs. I
Right.
don't know how much he ran.
Andrew Jones.
I don't know how much he
I
ran.
don't think
I
that's
think.
a bad guess. Acuna did it. That's gonna be the highest.
Yeah.
Acuna just
Um,
did it.
Yeah, he's in like I think a
75
couple
stolen
times even,
bases.
maybe.
Didn't Acuna also win Rookie of the Year?
Oh yeah, I think he did. So,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Brave 30-30s.
I mean, go back to Milwaukee.
Hank Aaron. Did Hank Aaron steal some
I think-
bases?
See, I don't know. Hank Aaron stole third. I don't know whether he
Let's
stole.
do it. Let's try it.
I feel like
Let's try it and do
think we
today's
did.
grid.
Hank Aaron. You did.
Here we go. All right.
Nice.
We kept it under
That's
100.
not bad. 95.
Kept it under 100.
What was he at?
14.
14.
And there's only 4.
Okay.
So
yeah.
it's
4,
not-
3,
it's
4.
You're basically
for-
thinking of the most popular players
Yeah.
Yep.
for all these.
Exactly.
So, all right. Well, we gotta record some other stuff. So we should we'll do more grids next week. Who is on the grid right now today? I'm just curious.
Brewers, Cubs. I think I saw them. There was a one-team one. that was on
Brewers,
there.
Cubs. There's Hall of Fame options for Red Sox, Rangers, and then there's only one team
Yep, that's
options
mine.
for Cubs, Brewers, and Hall of Famer only one team. We know who that is. Joe Mauer. Pretty soon. Doesn't work right now, but Tony
I
Oliva.
was gonna say it's not right now.
Tony
yeah.
O.
Yeah, Tony O. Tony O.
Cub. I'm trying to think. Cub, who was a Red Sox. Mark Bellhorn from the 2004.
Rick Aguilera.
Rick Aguilera.
Mhm.
The only one teams you'd have to just the entire Brewers pitching staff is like homegrown right now. So like Corbin Burns, you could pick him. Devin Williams, their closer, is homegrown. You could pick
Yeah, you
him.
want to go with like young current players.
For the
for,
Cubs,
for those
only
ones.
one team, Ernie Banks.
Yep.
Ian Happ is only one team on the current Cubs team. But Try it at home today, kids. The current grid here. That's the Score North Twin Show and the Immaculate Grid. Please give us a 5-star rating and a positive review on Apple Podcasts if you could. It helps spread the word about this Twins community that you're helping us build. Thank you, guys. We'll see you next time.